What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sam here. Today's video, we're going to be doing a tire swap. So you may know I just built my Jeep on 40s, and I actually got a set of tires and wheels that were already mounted for a good deal, so that's why I bought them. They are Toyo Open Country MTs on the set of threat wheels. Not wheels and tires that I personally would have bought, but they came at a good deal and there's nothing wrong with them, and they were like brand new, so I bought them. And that helped me get, you know, because those wheel and tire combo is expensive new and they were slightly used, so got a good deal on them. But I just got in today off the truck with a pallet, a set of 5 Nitto Trail Grapplers 40, 13, 50, 17. So these are what's going to go on the Gladiator. Nitto sent these out to me, so we're going to put these on and we're going to put them to the test. Now, Nitto is what I wanted to go with before. Nitto, I had Nittos on my white Jeep. Loved them. I love the way they look. Love the way they perform. For East Coast wheeling, our wheeling out here with the mud and stuff, this is the tire. This is one of the tires. One of the best tires you can get out here, besides like a bogger or something that's crazy stupid that you can't really run on the street. These ones you can still run on the street and wheel with. That's what I want. I want something that's decent at both. But if you watch anything full wheeling wise, you know a lot of people have these Nittos and a lot of people like them. So anyways, we're going to swap out these wheels and tires. So we're gonna swap out the tires, put the wheels back on, and that's gonna be this video. So sit back and relax, and I'll show you how to mount beadlocks and stuff. I've done it before, but this is gonna be the first time that I'm really gonna have to do it all myself. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but we'll have to see about it. So let's get into the action here. We're gonna do the spare tire first. That way, if anything happens, it's the spare. And then we'll move on going around in circles. So, but it's already hot out here, so it's gonna be a couple of days for me doing this, because I'm gonna be doing it every once in a while here and there until I get them all done. So, but let's get into the live action. Alrighty, it has been a couple days. I have not got anything accomplished. So we went through trials and tribulations at the beginning. But I did get the spare tire. It is all done. It is covered in anti-seize, of course. So I went ahead and got new bolts for it. That was one of the things. I actually put it together and I broke 2 bolts, and I didn't like that. I talked to a couple people and I just went ahead and spent the 20-some bucks and bought all new hardware from Royal King. And well, I bought 2 sets of hardware because the first set was the wrong thread pitch. Never, pro tip, take a bolt with you to the store. That way you get the right one the first time and not have to go back. But anyways, got it mounted and everything, so it's ready to go. Now we're starting on ones that are actually on the Jeep. I'm probably gonna, as you can see, these wheels have taken a beating already. So I want to get in here. I bought one of those Meguiar's or Mother's little polishing cone things. And if I feel the inkling to, I think I might clean these up a little bit, because it's the best time to clean them up. But I'm gonna show you the tools that I used to get that one off and how to do it. So some of these tools you'll have to buy, of course. Well, you're gonna have to buy them, but it makes your life a lot easier, I can tell you that. And so you can do it at home. So let me show you the tools that help me get this tire off and back on. All right, so let's get into tools or equipment you're gonna need if you do it at home. So, smart thing to do, if you got the cash, just send it to somebody, have them do it, especially when you get to these 40s range. But it is a good idea to know how to do things. That way, if something comes about when you're off-roading, you're knowledgeable. But this is Sam's Off-Road Garage. We're in the garage. We're gonna do it ourselves. I don't have a tire balancer. I'm probably gonna have to send them out to get them balanced after I get it all done. So I'm gonna end up spending money anyways. But at least with these beadlocks, I can mount and dismount them. So tools. One big thing you're gonna need is a compressor. So I have an ARB compressor in my Jeep. I have a like a handheld one, runs off the battery. I have a small pancake compressor. That's not gonna cut it, especially with these 40s to fill them up. So I went and bought this Fortress brand compressor from Harbor Freight. It's a 200 gallon or 27 gallon, 200 PSI. Pretty quiet compressor. I haven't had one here in this garage, so this is a dedicated air supply. If I want to blow some stuff off or air some tires, run some air tools, whatever, this will do it. I think I got it for under 300 bucks. They had a sale and stuff going on. I'll link it if I can find the link down below. It's a pretty good compressor. It filled that tire up pretty fast. Also too, to have a nice air chuck would be good too. I got one on the way. I got this cheapy one that I've been running around with, Hyper Tough from Walmart. It does the job, but we're gonna try out that Morphlate brand. It'll be here not till next week, but I got a Morphlate one coming. It's kind of a nice one. I was gonna get like a power tank one or whatever, but same deal. So, second thing you're gonna need, it's gonna make this job a lot easier. Nice 5-gallon bucket. I got this one from Rural King. It's a nice one. Got this one from AutoZone, and it does not want to take a 40. It's already collapsed. This one's got some nice double-sided or double-thick bucket. It's lasting for right now, so get a 5-gallon bucket. This right here, this is called a bead buster. This is what you're really gonna need to get the tires off. I'll link that in the description. It actually will take break the bead for you. You can do it with like a high lift. Oh, we got a high lift over here. You can do it with the high lift like this, but high lifts are sketchy, and then you got to use a vehicle as leverage and stuff, and whatever. This right here, you just have to have like an impact to take it off or squish it down and push it back off. I'll show you how I did it. And then some type of tire spoon or whatever. I only got one right now. I got a couple more from Amazon on the way, because it's better if you have like two. That way you can kind of wiggle it around or whatever. But those are really the only things you need to dismount tires. Some soapy water, of course, would help you, or some tire soap or whatever they call it. But that's pretty much it. And then, of course, if you're doing a beadlock, you need the right socket to take it off. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. And a tire valve stem remover. That's it. But like I said, I don't have a tire balancer here, unfortunately. I don't have a tire machine here, unfortunately. But stuff you gotta deal with to get done. But these 40s are fun to mess with. Really, really heavy. I also went and bought a fan from Rural King because it's like 90 degrees, feels like 107 out here, so that's why I'm taking my sweet time, because it's hot out here. I might end up moving into the house here. We got a basement that's air conditioned, and I'm an idiot if I don't go in there and at least try to do it in there. But you know, it's carpeted and stuff, so I don't want to mess that up. But we're just gonna take our time out here for a while until it becomes unbearable. And then we're gonna head on probably in there and move our operations in there. Also too, beadlocks. Save yourself some trouble. Get a jar or some anti-seize. Do that. So I anti-seized all these ones and went Grade 8 hardware back in it to get it all together. But I'll link all the stuff down in the description below. Yeah. let's put this ginormous tire on the bucket and take the, I've already took the valve stem out. And yeah, take the valve stem out, put it up on the bucket, take all the bolts out, flip it upside down, start trying to work the bead off the back and do like that. So you might need the help of your buddies or your wife or whoever. An extra set of hands and feet and body weight does not hurt you in this process. The more the merrier, because these tires, especially like I said, when you get to the 40s, they're a bear to get off. So, but enough talking. Let's go ahead and get into action. Oh, you need a torque wrench, of course, if you're doing beadlock. Torque wrench. Make sure to look at your wheels, your specific wheel, manufacturer, what they recommend, because I've been looking around. Some require different pattern or different torque settings, you know, stages or whatever. So. But, you know, most people just take a, you know, Milwaukee on like the low setting or 2 and just, you know, dack it on there. But we're trying to do it right this time. I am using a Milwaukee just to set the bead all the way down evenly. And then I'm going to go through there and click it off with my wrench, my torque wrench. So, all right, enough talking. Let's show you how to do it. All right, so hopefully the fan noise isn't too terrible. I'll probably try to fix it in post. It ain't that big of a noise, but I need the fan, it is hot. So the bucket is key. Get your tire off the ground, and then when you're debeading it, it lets it, you know, fall down and lets gravity do some of the work. But the bucket, find you a good 5-gallon bucket, because you will need it, and maybe a stool so you can sit down, because there's a lot of bending over. But yeah, I'm gonna take the beadlock off, and like I said, I got new bolts. So well, on these ones have a washer, and they also have, some beadlocks have like a little like spacer, depending on the sidewall of your manufacturer or your tire. These ones have it. So, because the Toyos and the Nittos, you know, same company, you know, whatever, they're similar. So, a lot of the bigger, thicker sidewall tires have thicker beads. So, on the wheel, I'll show you, but yeah, we're gonna take the bolts off, throw those bolts into a bin, and then I'm gonna save the washers that came with it, and then use those on my next ones, and then take the bead off, probably polish it up a little bit, see how that's going to turn out, if it's going to be even worth my while to do it. And then we will flip the tire over and start working on getting the bead broken in the backside. Got it off there, a little time lapse for you. I got music, non-copyrighted music, or copyrighted music, as you would say, going in the background, so not gonna have, you know, I'll give you like a voiceover or something. But got it off there, you can see, got the beadlock off, got the washers moving over to the side, bolts over there. And then I showed you those 2 spacers over there, so let's go in there. But as you can see, it's in there. So now we get to pick up this tire, flip it over, and then start working the bead buster on it and trying to get that off. So that'll be the next step. Alrighty, got the tire flipped over here to the back side. Looks like we got a little bit of damage on the wheel there, so that's bad. Not the greatest in the world. Damage the lip of the back there. I don't know if that's from wheeling or it's from before. I'm not sure. I didn't really look at the wheels when I bought them, so maybe, I don't know. But anyways, this is where the bucket comes in clutch, because as you can see, the tire is already kind of drooped down, which is going to help you get this tire off. So we're gonna break out the bead buster here, and I'll show you how that's done, used, and then we'll break this bead. All right, so the bead buster, I don't know if you're able to see now, but it takes a 24mm socket. What you do is you just kind of, you know, get it all back to where it's supposed to be. And then you stick it, you try to find a nice gap in the wheel and stick it in there. It's got like a foot. And then you take this and it pushes it. It pushes it onto the tire. It clamps it onto the tire. Clamps it onto the tire. That way you can push it straight down. Okay? Now I'm gonna send soapy water, so get you some Dawn dish detergent and some water. Spray in this bead here. Help it lubricate, fall down. There. Glass cleaner, whatever you want to use. And then you take your thing and then it pops it off. So you got to get it really in there, but it does work. Make sure you don't back the bolts all the way out like I do most of the time. It needs to set all the way in there. Needs to pinch the wheel really good. The first one is usually the hardest because it's breaking the seal. Eventually it will do it. And if you want to, you can help it out by pressing around the wheel a bit, but it's already off the bead, or the inner bead. So we'll take it out, and then we'll move it around the wheel in different spots, and it'll pop it. You probably only need to do it like on the direct opposite side, or as far as you can get around, or whatever. But this really is a nice tool to have for your home garage if you do a lot of wheel changing or tire changing. Break that off, and then we'll come around to this side here. Make sure we're all the way in there. Tighten this back up again, watch your fingers. And then pop it right off. So you just work it around the bead and then it'll come off. So I'm going to keep working it around and then it'll get off. Alright, so after that clip, I just moved it to the side and it literally fell off. The tire fell off. So that was the easy part. This is the tough part. This is when you need a tire spoon or whatever. This is when you need this thing. So you're gonna have to go in here and work. You're gonna have to work this around till you get about half the tire off the bead, the inner bead, or the outer bead now, and it falls off. And this is probably the worst part. So we'll move around here and get it off. Success! That one actually came off really easy compared to the first one we did. We just worked it around with the, got some soapy water in there, pushed the tire as far as we could to one side. That way you can scoop, get the scoop in there, scoop it out, and then just have, my wife here, she just kind of pulled it, the wheel, and I worked the spoon around and around till it gets about 3/4 or a half to 3/4 of wheel out, and then it just popped right off. So this one is done, and now we get to move over to putting it on, which is a lot easier than taking it off. And the 4 bucket, I hope it survives. It was a $4 bucket, but. Alright, so we got the new tire down here on the ground. I'm going to take my soapy water. We're going to give it a nice soapy spritz on the tire there. And then we're going to take this wheel and just lay it in there, work it around, and it should just fall right in. Now I see people like, you know, throwing them or whatever, but you don't need to do that. Just take it and work it in. It will eventually, you know, go in there. Use your, you got that spoon thing, use it and it will go in. So it will. And tire, spoon, thing here. I'll take it on this side. Clean back out. Probably shouldn't do this in sandals, but all right, we'll get it on there.
Yep.
Woo! You need 2 tire spoons, really. It's on there. It's in there. Okay, so we flipped the tire over. Now to work on the beadlock part of it. Make sure to get your tire, there's a lip inside the lip. These are the nicest ones I've ever done. I had some methods and some Maxxis drazers back in the day, pain in the butt. But these ones just go right on. But so these have this little spacer that we need to use because the tire is so thick. And we'll just put that on there like so. And it has like a specific way to go because the valve stem is so recessed in there. And then you take your beadlock ring, match it up to where it's supposed to go because it's got a recess in the for the valve stem, like I said. And make sure that's flat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some bolts, probably like 4, on each corner. I'm going to go ahead and do it like I'm going to do it, except for I'm going to use the impact or the Milwaukee. And I'm going to do it on like level 1 just to get it down there. And then I'm going to take my anti-seize, get all my bolts, anti-seize and everything, get them hand started, and then we're going to go through and get them all evenly done, where it's the beadlock is smushing the tire. Then I'll go through with my torque wrench and we'll torque them, the pattern that they say. The most important thing that I feel is to get the beadlock sandwiched with the wheel where there's no gaps. That's why it has a spacer and stuff. But that's the most important thing that I feel. Now, put in the comments if that's not the way you would do it or whatever, but that's the way I do it. That's the way it works for me. I've talked to multiple people. That's how they do it. And, you know, If it doesn't work, then I guess you'll see me down the road with a bead block that's broken or whatever. But that's how I'm going to do it. We're going to make sure the torque is correct. We're going to do it in the correct pattern, but we're going to use the Milwaukee to get a lot of it set up. There's no reason to sit there with a hand ratchet and go, you know, with all these threads for 24 bolts. So that's what we're going to do. I got my new bolts and get them anti-seized, and then we'll come through and do the star pattern and get them all torqued to spec. All right, so got it all done. It's already on the Jeep. Let's walk out here and show you. Got it all done on the Jeep pan and the butt to put on. But here we go, all done. I did what I said I was gonna do and did all the star patterns and everything. Didn't want to show you guys because that's boring, but you get the gist. But it's on there. It's mounted back up to the wheel or the axle, and pain in the butt to put on because it's probably like 150 pounds or more, probably 160 pounds. But yeah, we're got it on there, and now we're working on the other side, and we're gonna pull that off here. I'm out here. And we'll take this in the garage, and I'm not going to show you every one of them. We'll come back whenever we get it all completed, and we'll show it. I'll show you the difference between what it looked like with these Toyos and with the new Nitto Trail Grapplers. So the next thing you'll see is me done probably tomorrow. I'm going to work through the night when it gets cooler, and I'll probably tomorrow show you on a new day all these tires and wheels being swapped out, unless something happens, which hopefully doesn't. But it's almost dinner time, and I'm hungry and thirsty. Alrighty, so it's the next day here. Just got back from taking it out, but it is done. I got 4 of them done, so we're on all 4 of the same tires. I got a spare to go, but it beat me up yesterday doing all 4 of these and mounting them and stuff. Worst part was getting them back on the Jeep. Those things are so heavy, and getting it on and stuff, it's just, man, back-breaking work. But got them on last night, late last night. It's been so hot, you know, I'm trying to work as late into the day as I can, but even in the late afternoon, evening, it's been hot. It's hot right now, but on there, looks good. Took it out. These tires are so much quieter than the Toyos. For people that say Toyos are quiet, Nittos are way quieter. Love the way they look, of course. The beadlocks, the Nitto Trail Grapplers. I love the Trail Grappler sidewall. These are, the 40s are the only ones that have this sidewall pattern. If you get like a 38, 37, or a 42, they don't have this exposed like lug sidewall. They have it, but it's not as, you know, the 40s is the only one that's like that. So love the way they look. Rode good down the street, so that's that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Can't wait to get them out and test them and on the trail and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this video up. It's hot out here, and yeah, so got any questions, put them down in the description. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the hype button. Like I said, questions down below. I'll list all the tools that I used in the description down below. Got anything to ask away. Subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll get the Jeep out here shortly, a couple days, week or two. Hopefully it gets a little cooler out, it'd be nice. But we're gonna get the Jeep out, test it out. So now it's finally got the tires that I want under it. I'm pretty excited about it, not gonna lie. Shout out to Nitto for hooking me up. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, Nitto hooked you up, but I mean, they reached out to me, guys, so, and I appreciate the heck out of them because I really wanted these tires and it just was not in the budget right now. So them helped me out. Big shout out to them. And you know, I'm gonna do a very fair comparison on these tires. If I don't like them, I don't like them, but I don't think I will not like them. I liked them before, and I don't think it'd be any different. So, but we got a couple more mods coming on the Gladiator here and there and abouts. So it's always changing, evolution. You know, it's a Jeep. It's never done. It's a project car. Project cars are never done. So look forward to that. Look forward to some trail videos coming up, and we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you guys for watching. See you next time.